All right, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you an exercise to help you find purpose in your work, career, and side hustle. So let's get started. Do you remember when you were a kid, adults around you, teachers, your parents, ask you things like, what do you want to be when you grow up? When I was a kid, it was usually the answer for boys was doctor, lawyer, astronaut, firefighter. For girls, it was teacher, nurse, mommy. I know those roles have changed today, but that's where we were back then. For this video, I want to put a little bit of a twist on that question. And you'll hear this with a lot of other coaches, is that they talk about in order for you to get to your goal or your business, whatever it is you want to grow into, you have to grow into that. And that means not just necessarily skills and training and things like that. It's what you become as a person. So instead of what, I want to ask, who do you want to be when you grow up? And not as like, I want to be some actor or something like that. I'm talking about the character of who you are, your personality, your heart, your soul, and your purpose. What is a role, like being a police officer or an astronaut, but we're talking about who. Okay, so anyhow, you may have heard that this is the reason you can't get the promotion or make the money or create the business that you want to, because you need to grow and become that person. And I believe what helps with all of this learning is what our purpose is. And I discovered some years ago, it's been a long time, I've been thinking about it, my own purpose. What is it that I really want to be? I mean, there's a lot of, or who I want to be. There's a lot of roles that I was interested in. First I wanted to become a medical doctor and then a psychologist. And those are roles. But everything was leading in the same direction of how I wanted to help others. One was a cure, another was a cure, and others were lifting people up. And that's where I am today. Learning our purpose is our flow, as I call it. And following it improves many areas of your life. And I believe when you start finding your purpose and your flow in life, things start to get a little bit easier. It doesn't stop the challenges that come into our lives. It makes them better. And it's hard for me to explain that, but you may get a sense of this, is that when you start getting closer and closer to your purpose, we start attracting things and people who will help us grow and achieve what we want in our lives. The mentors, if you're in business, the people that have money that can help you out, that will invest into your business, the teachers, things like that. So anyhow, it'll help us grow and achieve things in our lives. So life starts to flow more easily. And I want you to remember that, flowing more easily. Okay, one way to learn our purpose is by the activities we do. We have some self-reflection. We have looking at ourselves and seeing who we are, holding that mirror up. Whether we are young, middle-aged, or a senior, whether we're looking for a career, upgrading our current one, or looking for our side hustle or hobby, this exercise will show you and help you in that direction. It's not the end-all be-all, okay, to find purpose. There's so many different things, and I'll bring those out in other videos. But it'll get you started in a certain direction, because I know a lot of people my age, when I went through it, I kept thinking like, what I'm doing isn't really satisfying at the end of the day. I enjoy parts of it. I enjoyed helping people, but there was something missing inside. And I started looking at this to see what can I do for myself to help me get more in line with my purpose. And so this will give you a direction and a focus, and there's just a few steps to it. It's quite easy, but it's something that if it doesn't make sense to you the first time you do it, do it again and again and again over time, and it'll start helping you go in that direction. You start discovering and becoming self-aware of what it is that you were put here for, okay? So let's see here. I created this exercise several years ago for myself. Now, I'm not going to take any credit for it because you can look on the web and find a lot of different people that talk about it, where they got it. I don't know where it originated. I don't know. Maybe it's part of the human condition. I don't know. But I discovered it for myself, and it's helped me a lot. So let's begin, all right? So what we're going to focus on in this video is activities. Now, what I mean by activities is like anything from hobbies, you know, on the weekends, playing ball, watching movies, cooking, whatever it is that you do. We're going to look at those activities and see they fit in as like 3 different categories. So we're going to divide our activities into 3 categories, and we will be writing down these activities in each category, 1 category at a time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you, when we get to that point, just stop the video because I want to keep talking. So you don't want me to interrupt your brainstorming here. So what I want you to do is when we get to that category, stop the video, write down these different activities. And once you do that, hit play again, and we'll talk about the next category and go from there. And what we do with those 3 categories. And hopefully, the first time you do it, it'll help you with this process. If not, it may take some time, okay? So here we go. So then once you're done, restart the video, get out 3 pieces of paper. And it doesn't matter if it's, you know, a piece of paper and you write down lines to separate 3 sections or 3 separate papers. My way of doing it is writing down 3 separate pieces of paper. Okay, and when you write these things down, your activities, you're not going to share these with anyone. These are yours, and it's as simple, as complex as they can be. I mean, if there's something you enjoy that you have your little guilty pleasure, like I like to play some video games, or like when I'm at work, I like to play solitaire on the computer. Whatever it is, write it down because it'll help you get in that direction. Okay, I need to stop this for a second. Now we're just going to pull this out here. I got some papers here I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can get this without screwing up my video. There we go. Alrighty. So we're going to get out those 3 pieces of paper. No judgment. We're only looking at this information ourselves, not to share with anyone else, because it's part of you, part of me, whatever. Okay? All right. Let's see here. We're going to pull out the first activity. And the first activity is activities you do well. Say if you have a sport you do well, or you know, if you're on a team sport and there's a certain position you do well, or let's see here, like at work, you're really good at organizing, or you're really good at things that take quick action, or some people really like the what I would consider for me a stressful situation of having the phones ringing constantly. You know, there's a lot of activity going on. What things do you do that you do very well? And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that makes money. It doesn't have to be something you enjoy. For instance, in my career, I was pretty good at, let's see if I can say this without saying this. I was good at a particular function, even though it wasn't part of my job description. It was something I did. And other parts of the company that had a similar position wanted me to do that for them as well. And I didn't want to do it. The situation was I did not enjoy it at all, but I was very good at it. So anyhow, write those down. So let's start that list and stop the video and work on it. And when you're ready, start it again and we'll go to the next one, okay? Okay, go. All right, so Start it again. We're going to turn over that page, make it face down. Okay, we don't want any interaction with our next thought process. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is write down on that piece of paper what it is that you love to do. And some people are really love to do some simple stuff, you know, whether it's little drawings on, you know, I remember in school a lot of people would draw little faces and stuff with the teacher and things like that. Or it could be something that's really fantastic, you know, maybe you like acting in front of a group of people, you know, maybe on the weekends you do drama or things like that, stuff that you love to do. Okay, so let's go ahead. Again, no judgments, whatever you love to do. I don't care if it's your little secret that no one else in the world knows about. Write it down. And when you're ready, stop this video and make that list. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you're ready with that one. You're done with that one. Turn that page over, face down. And we're going to work on the next set. So there's only 3 sets. This is the 3rd set. We're almost done. Okay, so activities that make good money. And what I mean by good money, I mean whatever good money is to you. Some people, good money is just enough to pay the bills. The good money is to go out and buy a nice brand new car. Enough money for you could be something to where you want to start using that money to make investments, whatever your definition of good money is. Because there's a lot of things we do. Like I said, there's things that I've done in my life that it made pretty good money, but I did not enjoy them, or it just wasn't my cup of tea, or I didn't do it well. Some things I forced myself to do. So, but again, what activities have you done in the past and you can do to make money? Okay, stop the video, make that list. All right, now we're going to get to how to do this activity, the next step in this activity. Now, you probably remember from school, Venn diagrams. So here's an example. You've got 2 things, and these circles are the qualities of those items. Okay, you have bananas and lemons, or bananas and a lemon and whatever. And you notice that you've got some things on there. You have like the banana is smooth and sweet. Okay, you notice that's part of its circle. The other circle is for lemon, it's sour and bumpy. They don't have those in common. Now what they do have in common is they're both yellow and fruit. So what we're going to do is these 3 topics, or these 3 activities, we're going to put those together like 3 circles, okay? So that's what we're going to do with that information. So before we get started into that, I'm going to talk about something I discovered as I was doing this process, and I think it's really cool. Okay, you're going to have 3 circles, right? These are the Borromean rings, okay? The Borromean rings, there's a couple of things that are really cool about it. Number 1, it was named after a noble banking Roman family centuries ago, and this symbol was part of their coat of arms, okay, for the family. The other thing, now not the colors are random, you can use whatever color you want, but the other thing is that they represent interdependency. In other words, they need each other, and the other is unity, that all 3 need to be there and be unified in order to do what they're doing. So what I'm going to do is in this video, in the link, I'm going to put some links below so you can learn more about it if you're interested. But the thing about these rings that are really cool is when you look at the rings, they're interconnected. And if you recreate them, like if you're going to do these rings with some colored string or whatever for those 3 rings, or you cut some construction paper out and make the rings and thread them through exactly how you see them, you'll find out a couple things about them. One is that if you remove any one ring, the other 2 come apart. You know, they're not independent of each other. They're very dependent. And that's why I use this model for this exercise, because the 3 activities we're talking about, these 3 areas, they have to exist in order for it to work. And we'll go to the next page here and talk about that. Oh, and I said unity, that they have to be together to make it work. Okay, so you want to do the stuff that you love to do. You put it in a ring, just list them in there. Stuff you're good at, you list them in there. Big bucks, things that pay well, you put them in there. And then what you do is you put these 3 rings together and try to look for what I call the gold. The gold is the activities are in all 3 rings, okay? And it may not be an activity that's in there. It could be activities that are related, that there's in all 3 sections, in all 3 categories. They're a little off. In other words, they're not identical completely, but they're close enough to fit in that little area there. And what is the gold? The gold is, this relates to your purpose. It may not be your purpose, but it relates to your purpose. And when you start seeing activities in there, you can start working on, these activities are more satisfying. In other words, if you did them more often, you'd be more satisfied because you're making money, you enjoy it. And people, what's the word? I'm not looking for the right word here. It's something you're skilled at. In other words, it takes less effort. On Monday morning when you wake up, if you were working in these tasks in this area here, you're more likely to get out of bed and go do it, as opposed like, oh my God, I gotta go do this. Think about it. Things you've done that probably pay really well, but you don't enjoy doing, and you're not that good at it, you struggle, it's less likely you're gonna go do it. So anyhow, that's what I call the gold, which is also relates to your purpose, okay? So it's more satisfying, it's more in line with your purpose. And the first time you do this, you may find something very helpful. You may find an activity that's completely fits all 3 of those categories, or you may find some activities that are related that fit all 3 categories. Now, if you find out you don't get anything in the gold the first time around, just put it away for a few days, for a week, whatever. And it'll ruminate in the back of your head somewhere. And try the exercise again. And leave those old sheets in a drawer somewhere. Don't look at them right away when you're doing this exercise at another time. And do the exercise and see how it does. And if it's still not quite there, bring those other sheets in. And that information may help get closer and closer to the gold, okay? The pattern may develop, and it may be over time. All right, so this is short and quick. I wanted it to be short and quick. Give this a try. This is something you can do at your lunch hour at work, do it on your weekend. You can do it before you go to bed at night or first thing in the morning. It's not difficult, but I found for myself, and I've seen other people find out, by using this technique, that it got them closer to their flow or their purpose or the career of their dreams, whatever you want to see. Even if it, if you're an older person like myself, okay, you're retired and you're looking for things that you want to do, even if it doesn't make any money, this can help you with that as well. What is it you like? Do you like being around people? Do you not like around people? You like doing things yourself or in a big group? Whatever. It'll start to help you get that direction going. So anyhow, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you found this video helpful. And as always, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And do those YouTube-y things like subscribe, ring the bell, comment. If you have questions, put it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Share with others because I really want these videos to get out there, and I'm hoping to make each one incrementally better than the previous one. And I really do want to help people because, we need to enjoy life. We weren't put here to be miserable. So I want us to really enjoy our lives, all right? So until next time, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.